starting the stream. Okay, let's see if this works. Hello, hello. My name is Drew Universe. Looks like we are live. Yes, I'm Drew Universe. With me is Monoxide / Corey, founder and
What's
lead
up?
programmer of Severed Chains. If you haven't figured that out already, I don't know why you're here. um, we're going to do something a little different tonight. Normally, when I do Friday live streams, it's about doing a Severed Chains playthrough of some kind with some kind of angle to it. Um, this time it's a little different. We got some new discoveries, mostly about the re-releases on PS4 and 5. This is going to be a very casual stream, and I'm a little sick, so I'm not at 100%, but we're still gonna have a really good time. And the reason I have Corey with me is because um, this information, just the some of the backstory, it happens to be related to Corey. It's very funny. So,
You forgot to say that Freya's here too.
yes, we have cats. Um,
Actually, up until a few minutes ago, both Freya and Strider were sitting on my lap.
yeah, there were, I
Strider
think,
left just before the stream started.
yeah, you had all three at one point, didn't you?
Almost.
Yeah. Um,
Freya, say hi.
in addition to the cats themselves, you also have a side bonus of Corey in video form. Ta-da!
Ta-da.
I said, hey, are you okay with, and do you even have a camera? And he said he would try to find it and get it working. And it's apparently very old, but it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Looks great. Looks better
It
than
was
mine.
it was the best camera that 2006 could offer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've got two basic scenes for us. The first scene is this scene where it's just our two cams a little bit enlarged and the chat when we're not doing a screen share at the moment. But a good portion of the stream will also be screen share. So I'm going to make sure everything is Gucci. Yep, oh, now it's loading chat. Okay. And I'm going to minimize this. And I can still see chats. Okay, good. And we're just going to jump right into it. Thank you all for coming. Hello, Lloyd. Glad you could make it. Hopefully you got some sleep. Hello, Matthew Gravely, Silent Sky, Chocolate, Enos, which is Icarus, right? Yes.
Yep.
It's going to be really cool. So we're just going to jump right in. Why do I have Discord notification? That doesn't matter. Okay. Making sure I'm not being tagged for something important. Oh, we lost. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I accidentally made Corey vanish for a second. He still
Wow,
exists.
rude.
He still exists. I promise. I promise.
Debatable.
So, Corey, I don't have a screen share with you. Um, I'm gonna probably have you follow along on the stream. I guess it's only a few seconds delayed.
Yeah, I've got the stream up.
Um, so what we're looking at is a timeextension.com article. I'd never heard of this site before, written by Faith Johnson. Meet the company bringing classic games to Switch, PS5, and Xbox by mistake, which I kind of instantly resonated with, even before I knew what I was reading about, because I kind of fell into being the number one fan on accident. I fell into archivism on accident, and just all of it's just incidental. You know what I mean? Um, we're all just here in the end. So this is about a company called Implicit Conversions. It has a little meaning behind it. Implicit Conversions is a company who reached out to Sony because they wanted to start an experiment with emulating their back titles from like PS1 and getting them on the PS Classic service. And Sony agreed for some reason. Um,
Some reason.
Now, sometimes publishers or platform owners, when they do, um, like they decide to bring back old games on a new platform in some way, sometimes it's done internally with the wing of the internal team, the internal big company. Sometimes it's outsourced. In this case, it was outsourced. The CEO of the implicit conversions company is Robin Lavallee, if I'm pronouncing that right. Um, has been in multiple different companies. Got a lucky break with Ubisoft, among other things. Worked at Meta and Twitch before becoming CEO of Implicit Conversions. And so what they do is they develop emulation software that allows old classics to run smoothly on modern consoles. We'll also have links for this on our ld.org site. I'll make an article about all the things we're talking about right now so you can see all that yourself. Or just Google it right now while we're doing this. Before I move on, though, what I'm going to do is play some music because I, like Corey, have a music package that I can run. So my terrible voice doesn't bring down the stream so hard. So let me
Wow.
find that. It's like your voice is fine, but my voice needs work. All right, fan content.
Sup, Pony Bro? Sup, Sind?
I guess I have to run it through OBS. So let's add media source. Media. I guess it's media. And we're gonna
I just
browse.
uh I just record desktop audio and have a media player running
Oh, you know what? I can do that. Yeah, I can do that.
since I need my desktop audio mixed in there anyway.
So how do I easily do this? I'm gonna do it this way and this way. And add a folder to my library. Bear with me. Oh, that is not the right one. Manage libraries. Add a folder.
Sounds like a pretty good dinner.
Updating media player. Okay, for now.
Wonder if I can adjust my camera so that Freya is still on the stream. I don't think so.
Let's see. .mp3.
She's still on my lap, but she's laying down now.
There's all the music I want. I'm trying to do a quick playlist, so we're just gonna do that,
Hey, Leningrad.
that, and play. Some of these are listed twice for some reason.
I'm sure no one will notice.
Like there's the same song twice. One's 1 minute long, one's 2 minutes long. That's fine. I'll just have it shuffle. And this music is thanks to Lloyd Sorrow. I have other tracks, but his are all in one folder right now, so it's easier to just play his. Similar to the stuff you hear on the dev streams recently. And it looks like it's playing correctly. So if I need to adjust the audio levels, just let me know. Okay.
Drew, oh, there we go. I thought your audio had dropped out for a second.
Nope, I just became speechless because I was checking something.
Okay.
My brain stopped working because it's only at 85%. It's like a stuttering video because there's not enough bandwidth going through. Okay, so let's get right back into it. So Robin Lavallee was interviewed and got to say some words about how he got to this point and what he's going to do from here. Basically, it's about lots of programming, starting out with these mods for Doom-like games and this other stuff. This is Robin here on the left, and I think this is one of the people he started the company with, Jacob. And they made a emulation engine to put these games, these PS1 classics, on PS4 and 5. And they call it the Syrup engine.
Syrup.
There's a story
Why
behind
is it
that.
called the syrup engine,
It's
Drew?
named after the wonderful maple syrup that we enjoy in Canada. This is part of why you're here. So, long story short, we have an ongoing joke in the community that there's like a Canadian, just a disproportionate amount of Canadians as opposed to any other regional group, even people in the United States, which normally make up the predominant number of LOD fans by like 66% of all LOD fans are United States people for the most part. That's a rough estimate. Canada is like second most or something like that. Maybe Japan. It's hard to say, but we have representation all over the world, and US is usually the first. But I never really hear about people saying they're from the US. It just Canada comes up over and over and over again in the Discord server chats and other things. Somebody reached out saying, "Oh, hey, we're excited about Severed Chains. We made a video," and I check out the video, and it's got the Montreal something, just a bunch of like hockey stuff, banners on their wall, and I'm just Canada everywhere. And
No one expects the Canadians.
there are some people from the U.S. like I'm pretty sure Zamboni and Zychronics are with me in the U.S. But
Zacronix is also Canadian.
oh no, wait, no, I got that wrong. Yeah, so never. I'm losing them. I'm from an alternate reality.
And Ink is Canadian.
Yep.
Literally half of the Severed Chains dev stream is Canadian, or dev team is Canadian.
I jumped in from an alternate reality where I did have Zychronics, but now I don't.
Mhm.
So it's a running gag for various reasons. Talking about Donairs and Garleys and all these things.
And Nova is probably related to me.
Yeah. Nova might be related to Nova Dragoon, our most solid community member. And now I'm finding out, less than a week ago, that I not only pinpointed what company was making these PS1 classics, at least some of them, but there's Canadian roots. And they even named the fucking emulation engine after Canadian maple syrup. It just... I didn't want to believe it. I was like, I don't care personally about the United States that much, but this is kind of shocking. It's just the legend of Canada. It's all Canada now.
It is.
So, and I just left it on the image of them smiling there. So, normally, lately, we've been talking a lot about, the conversation has been reverse engineering, because I've been saying I believe reverse engineering is the future of retro gaming. It's more work per game, but it just opens the floodgates by comparison to emulation, which has lots of limits, of course. So you've got the trade-off of covering a wide array of games with limits versus a single game at a time with way less limits, as long as you got the work to put in. But so we haven't really talked about emulation lately, and they reveal quite a bit. They reveal in this article that for whatever reason, Sony, even though they licensed them to do the work for this, their work is going on to the PS4 and 5. They're apparently not allowed to use the regular BIOS, and they have to reverse their own BIOS, high-level emulation, which I found very fascinating. Like, would you expect that, Corey, that they would have to make their own BIOS even though Sony is letting them make the games be ported?
That seems like ridiculous bureaucratic bullshit to me.
I feel like
I mean, it's not really out of the question to do. Like, I have reverse engineered and ported the PS1 BIOS and kernel to PC. We used to use that for Severed Chains. We don't need it anymore because we've moved pretty far past the hardware emulation stage at this point. The No Cache emulator uses its own custom BIOS as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, that just seems like ridiculous bureaucratic nonsense.
If I was Sony, higher up in Sony, I would just be like, use our stuff because it's going on our stuff anyway. And I would imagine that you would want them to be able to use the official BIOS. Just
So, I mean, to be fair, the PS1 BIOS is awful. Like,
okay,
it is barely holding itself together.
fair enough. I guess if it was in good shape, I would want that one to be used instead because, official versus having to do hacky workarounds kind of a thing. But if it's
Oh,
that,
the PS1 BIOS is entirely hacky
okay.
workarounds.
So then maybe
Maybe they
this,
wanted to do it this way just out of like
yeah,
concern for whether or not it would work.
yeah, this might have been intentional. I sent a message to I think it's Robin to Robin to try and open a dialogue. I did not get a response yet, but if I do, we'll definitely be trying to get some more information, maybe a short presence on one of our streams. Who knows? We'll see. But in the meantime, we can read from not only this article, but I did some sleuthing and it wasn't too hard to find their website. They have a little YouTube channel. And this completely blew me by. Like, I didn't even see this, what was going on. But really quick to finish off the article, he says he wants to continue emulating old games to help more people have access to them. It's kind of a reality breaker for me because to me, and probably to Corey, game preservation would lean more in the reverse engineering aspect. Just because there's so little official support. But for Robin and his company, the game preservation is done through emulation. And that's probably just so that they have one program for the whole library, and then they just have to do little tweaks for each game instead of a lot of work per game. But it just still struck me as funny.
I mean, emulation is like probably the number one way that old hardware is going to be preserved, right? So, once the production run of the hardware is finished, those systems are eventually going to break down. Eventually, we're going to run out of new old stock of parts. We are seeing some companies actually starting to produce like new versions of obsolete chips to be used to repair things like Commodores and Intellivisions and things like that. But in terms of like running the entire backlog of games and programs for a system, emulation is definitely the best way overall.
Yeah, that is fair.
In terms of individual games, of course, like what we're doing with Severed Chains, for example, we're taking it next level. We're pushing it way farther than any emulator could, but we're also doing a lot more than like preservation here, right?
Yeah,
we're sort of breathing new life into the game.
yeah, we're medics. We're resuscitating.
Exactly.
I get an infusion of magic. It's pretty awesome. So moving forward, we've got their home website here. Implicit conversions, bringing classic games to modern consoles. It's really charming. This little look at this animation here. This is a Crash Bandicoot, just jumping on the box, just jumping on the box.
Yeah.
Is that Metal Gear? I can't tell. Maybe it's Metal Gear. So it shows like a before and after. This is like old Final Fantasy, and then new Final Fantasy with the PS5. So it's showing old console and new console. That's pretty charming. Relive the magic. It's showing the old systems to the new systems. Some of the titles they've worked on. Apparently Jack and Daxter is getting some support. They've got a little blog. I like blogs. I write a blog. I just wrote a new blog entry recently. So I'm kind of charmed by the fact that they have a blog. They've got a list of ship titles. I think LOD was one of the first. They were in the picture a little before LOD came in. I think it was like November of the previous year they were starting to get involved. But they did LOD, Ape Escape, Valkyrie Profile, Siphon Filter, It's a pretty decent list. I was a big fan of Tekken 2 when I was a kid, so like they've covered some interesting stuff. This is actually longer than I thought it was.
I think out of that list, I've played Legend of Dragoon and Wild Arms 1.
Yeah,
Oh, I played Jet Moto as well
yeah. Jet
on the
Moto.
PC, I think.
I played the first Jet Moto on a PlayStation demo, and I was just enthralled, but also didn't know how to drive. I couldn't drive. It was something was wrong with the controls, or I just sucked as a kid. I don't know. Something was weird.
I started out gaming playing racing games, actually. Need for Speed,
I thought you didn't
Viper
play games.
Racing. I mean, I played games for a while,
Yeah.
and then I started programming, and it was all downhill from there.
Now I want to share something particular. They mention on their website the Syrup emulation engine. And they got to learn more about Syrup. They got all these characters.
Oh, I know all about syrup.
Yeah.
It's part of being Canadian. Actually, I have a bottle of fresh maple syrup that I just got like freshly boiled a few days ago.
Mm. All right. Now this is a special. It says don't click this box, but I'm gonna click the box. Okay.
Wow, you rebel.
It says
I
don't.
wouldn't click it.
Impressive. Your bravery has not gone unnoticed. Let us bestow upon you this knowledge. And again, this is why Corey is so integral to this live stream. The origin of the syrup engine's name. Our Canadian CEO suggested the name because maple syrup is delicious and it's well known in Canada, especially in his home province of, I'm going to chance the pronunciation of Quebec.
Yes, Quebec.
Quebec. Right on the first try. I'd never pronounced it before today. And everyone likes it. The syrup engine is also built in part by Implicit Conversions Canada. I guess that's like a subdivision. And they've even got this big picture of a can of maple syrup. Canada grade A. I couldn't do the stream without you. Like I don't have the Canadian in me to cover this content.
Actually, funny story that happened a couple months ago. We were having our work Christmas party, and
Mm.
a lot of our clients are European, so we have someone from the UK that works for us who can do like local stuff. So he was here for the Christmas party, and I got him for the Secret Santa and bought him a giant can, the largest can of maple syrup that I could find. Come to find out, it was too much liquid for him to take on the plane, so we ended up having to actually ship it to him. He couldn't take it home with him.
He was here though. Like he was there to have it,
Yeah,
but it had
yeah.
to get
No,
shipped separately.
he couldn't take it back with him on the plane because
Uh,
it could explode, I guess.
ex- that maple syrup magic.
Yeah.
If you press the button fast enough, it'll multiply and do more and more damage. You just get stickier and stickier until you're completely immobile, and then you just have no turns and just take constant damage from the enemy until you're dead.
Yeah. Okay, honestly, I had never actually seen syrup in a can until I went looking for the largest amount of syrup that I could possibly buy at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Um, I had never noticed it before.
What's
So,
it? Is it normally in like a
there you go.
plastic bottle or?
Yeah, it's sort of just like a. They can be in different bottles. Like the cheap stuff that's not real syrup will just be in like a squeeze bottle.
Yeah.
The actual like real syrup, a lot of times it comes in nicer bottles or like glass bottles with a fancy stopper or whatever.
Mhm.
I mean, it's sort of like the same as how like liquors and stuff are sold.
Gotcha.
You can get the dirt cheap stuff in plastic bottles, or you can get decent stuff in glass and whatnot.
Yes, Drew Bonder. Bagged milk blows my mind as well.
Bagged milk is actually not that popular here anymore. We used to
Yeah.
have it when we were kids all the time. I don't like milk, so I don't drink it personally. But Yeah, I think most people just buy jugs now. They do still sell the bagged milk around here, but I don't know anybody who buys it.
I have to agree with Pony Bro about the maple syrup not being too much for the flight. Says he should have looked the airplane security person in the eye and just chugged the whole can of syrup.
Oh God, instant
It's like,
diabetes.
it's going with me, even if it has to be in me instead. You cannot separate the syrup from me now. Oh God,
Uh,
I have comments and I'm gonna refrain. So, um, back to implicit conversions for a moment. I wanted to highlight a couple bits of their blog. Their first blog entry includes Legend of Dragoon, so I felt that was a little special. The February 2023 releases was LOD, Wild Arms 2, and one of the Harvest Moon games. And at this point, they were just like copying the body text that was somehow not lost to time. It's the same text they used to post in like the press release 25 years ago. um, but in future blogs, they write their own content and things. They went to GDC 2023 and they're going to 2024 this month. All the other classics that they've been releasing, personal memories of SNES or regular NES, video game platform journey. Like they have this whole image diagram. I should make one of these. Like the consoles I was exposed to. Make your console timeline. And they did like an intro blog at some point, and it's the same picture. Working with Sony and look, LOD. There's a picture of LOD there. Dart fighting against the commander. Iconic first boss fight. And they care about preservation. They want to take their work further to help more and more people get to enjoy retro games. It's a whole thing. They support remote work, and they've got some other pages. So give implicit conversions a little look. If they've made any PS1 classics that you've been able to enjoy on PS4 or 5, maybe give them a little look. Check out their website.
I think it'd be pretty interesting to sit down and have a chat with them.
Yeah, I want to get Robin on and just talk. I saw a video interview he did on YouTube, and it was pretty fun hearing his personal story and more about what he more than just what he said in those article interviews, basically, just to get some deeper insight and just get really into the nitty gritty of his motivations is pretty cool.
I imagine they'd probably be under pretty strict NDA about a lot of stuff.
Well, yeah. I listened and watched the whole video. It was almost, I guess it was an hour or something long. I don't think he mentioned LOD once, but to be fair, he didn't mention the other titles really either. But there was a video I wanted to show because it's their YouTube channel. It's a demo reel. So I'm going to play the demo reel. It's only like 35 seconds long. And pretty short and sweet. So that's their little demo reel. LOD was in there, barely. We got to see a
Half of an
commander.
attack.
We got to see a commander using a healing potion, possibly longer than we saw Dart using in addition. But they had to fit a lot of games in there, so I never thought that I would get to know exactly who was responsible. Like, I don't know everyone on the dev team, but I now see Robin as the CEO of this company helping make this happen. And in that timeextension.com article, if I go back, believe, yep, Robin said some of my favorites are Jet Moto, Grandia, The Legend of Dragoon, and several Star Wars games. So, um, and either in this article or somewhere else, they mentioned that they have a little bit of leeway to handpick so long as Sony like approves it, if I'm not mistaken. So part of the reason LOD got on PS4 and 5 wasn't just a random executive saying, "Here, fill our quota, expand the catalog," and then LOD was randomly selected. It was partly because of Robin pushing for this, which I think warrants some gratitude. So maybe thank Robin on Twitter. Try to treat him better than we did with Peter Dalton, the technical director for Bluepoint, when everybody was all over his butt about liking LOD and thinking it should be a project. So then Bluepoint was going to do it, apparently. But give some respectful thanks to Robin maybe on his Twitter. He's not hard to find. I thought I would spend some time highlighting that tonight, that, obviously Severed Chains and reverse engineering is our hottest thing right now, and it's just going to be that way, of course. But to take a moment and look back on what emulation has also done for us for a long time, and especially recently, just last year with the re-release. So I thought we could all enjoy those fun facts and the intersection of Canada, because we can't have LOD anymore unless Canada is involved. Literally.
It's true.
Literally, Canada helped make this happen.
You're welcome.
Oh, God. I have not been keeping up with chat. Hopefully there's no dire questions and just vibe chat. But if I missed anything important, tag me and repost. I'll read it now. Yeah, the riddle that Bluepoint gave was killing us for a while.
You missed buttermilk.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna skip that. I still remember when the first cryptic tweet came out from Bluepoint and the second one, and we were like, this is intentionally referencing like 10 different games. They know what they're doing. They very much know. They're just getting all of us riled up and getting us all wondering. And these present boxes that could have anything inside them. They've made an image of a Christmas tree in present boxes, and like there was a few props in the scene, like a that was a God of War axe or something. I don't remember. He had to dart home. Oh God, that was a whole thing.
Yeah, I do think that they shouldn't have done that. I mean,
Yeah.
it was clearly like a marketing thing for them, and it worked, but it was good for them, not good for any of the communities of the games that they were teasing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was like gauging interest, sort of a thing, just to see which fandoms would be the loudest and might inform them as to which game to target next. But I
Yeah.
mean, at this point, if I'm not mistaken, they're currently working on an unrelated project, which is by unrelated I mean their own original work, because they talked about like not wanting to get fatigued on just reliving previously created works like Shadow of the Colossus, which they did twice. I mean, they did the remaster and the remake, and all the God of War stuff, and wanting to like make their own game makes sense. Like that's kind of more where their roots were, and I've been curious to see what they would just make of their own accord. You know what I mean? It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what a new idea from a company that specializes in old games would look like.
Yeah, especially with Bluepoint's pedigree at this stage, they've gotten almost universal acclaim for their work. Um, It's just I don't usually see companies consistently put out work that is loved that much in terms of like remasters and remakes of other people's stuff. So I mean, I'm curious as hell to see what they've been at it for a while. It's been a couple years. I mean, when did Demon Souls come out? What was that?
You're asking the wrong person.
Oh wow, November 12th, 2020. That was a while ago.
Yeah,
Like
about
three.
three and a quarter years ago, 3.5 years.
Has their website changed at all? Yep, still showing Demon Souls. That's gonna autoplay. Oh, their website is like a single page kind of a thing, I guess. I can't.
God, I hate those.
Yeah, I want to actually nav to different pages. That's a job listing. See more of our games. Yeah, games list. Not much info here. I just feel like they're keeping their lips super sealed. Whatever it is, it must be like a big deal. Um,
To be fair, a lot of newer games suck. So,
I was even reading about. I've talked before over the last few years about game saturation. Like, there's going to be remaster and remake saturation, and there's also general game saturation when that didn't used to be a thing when we were younger. And now there's so many games, and that means more good and interesting games, but also a lot more low quality games at the same time. And I was just reading a statistic today that around 2015, so almost 10 years ago, Steam had like a couple thousand games on it, maybe 2 or 4 thousand if I'm not mistaken. And today they have like 100,000. They just hit the 100,000 mark supposedly, and that's just a staggering ballooning to me.
it's an excessive amount of games.
Like from 2000, what? When did Steam start being a thing? Like 2005, 2006, something like that. Because I got the orange box in '07. So let's say almost 10 years to 2015, a couple thousand games, and then less than 10 years later, goes from a couple thousand to, again, if I read it right, 100,000 is a huge explosion. And I love that there's a lot of games now, but like it's also going to be harder to find all those games, and we really need some more filtering options to help find those. Like Steam's got some basic tags for sci-fi and spaceships if I want to find that sort of thing, but it's a lot to sort through.
Hmm.
It's a whole thing. Yeah, lack of curation is something that I think about a lot, Drew Ponder. Just as a archivist in general, um, not everything has to be hyper organized, but just more than what we have would be cool, I think. Um,
Yeah, I mean, the smaller indie studios that don't have big publishing deals are often making the most interesting games, but it's much more difficult to actually, find those games.
mm, okay. I'm gonna take a like 2 minute AFK. I gotta get some more water, but I'll be right back. Um, I will leave you all in Corey's very capable hands for a moment.
How's everyone doing tonight, chat? I am personally a little bit sleepy because I didn't sleep very well last night. You want cats? All right, let me. I've got two cats in eye shot right now. Let's see if I can get them to come over. Strider, Strider. Oh, here comes Freya. Come here, come here, come up, come up, jump up. He's distracted by Aurelia. Jump up. Come on, jump up. You know what jump up means. Come on, come on, come on. Quit being stubborn. He's standing at my feet. Ugh. This is Strider.
It's cat time. I brought Pretty.
So many cat time.
Hello. Like, yes, I'm on camera now. She wants to play or nuzzle or something.
Come here, Strider.
No, we can't
Oh,
go
here
up
comes
there.
Freya again.
Oop.
84 hours into FF7
Oh,
Rebirth and still not done. That's a lot of hours.
licked my nose.
Uh,
Thanks, Pretty. Really appreciate that. Anywho, so I don't have much more to share at the moment. Um, there were another thing or two I was considering revealing tonight, but my wellness is not 100%, and I want to save my energy for when I can make it look a little better. So I'm gonna stow a couple secrets for next time. But I thought everyone would enjoy this little exploration of, hey, how was LOD put on the PS4 and 5? Now you know, and you can help spread the word if you like. We'll put out an article on legendofdragoon.org. I'll probably have it ready tomorrow. We'll see if I'm feeling well. Um, but by next week at the latest, I'll have a nice little article that talks about the stuff we did here in text form, and that's all I've got for now. So nice little short casual stream.
Full
Uh,
of cats.
yeah, gonna have more cats showing up on stream. If I know I'm gonna have a cat cam at some point. I just need to. Well, the reason I can't have a cat in here is because the secret I've been teasing in the Discord server is in this room and not out of the way of cats. So I need to change the room a little bit so that a cat can safely be in here, and I can do a cat cam, and then I can do a cat cam that can't reveal my secrets before I'm ready to reveal them. And then if Corey is
Only
willing,
uh only a couple of weeks left until that reveal.
yeah, I don't have to wait too long. And then if Corey, if you're willing, maybe you'll decide to do a cat cam on some of the dev streams, help add to the attraction value,
Yep.
because it's all about the cats, obviously.
Yeah, I'll pick up a second webcam and yeah, we'll have a picture in picture with
Hmm.
the cats.
That's that's one of my favorite features of old TVs. I love the idea that I could have one thing in the little tiny box while the big box is playing something else. Even though it usually wasn't super practical, there could be some interesting applications of that. Like, let's say your dad wants to watch the baseball game, but you want to play PS1, and he lets you have the little picture in picture in the corner. That could be fun for about 5 minutes.
Lord of the Rings watch party with the cats.
Oh man, you're reminding me of this one person. Okay, we're gonna watch a video. We're gonna do one more. I mentioned that we might do other things, so this counts. Jurassic Park cat. We're
I
gonna
think
watch.
Strider's is camera shy because he usually spends literally the entire day sleeping on my lap.
This looks
But
so,
as soon as we started recording,
yeah.
he left.
This looks a little like Strider almost.
Yeah.
So this is Owl Kitty's channel. They just put their cat in other situations.
I like it.
Keep absolutely still. This fish
Yeah,
is
it does look like Strider, just missing the white parts. He's a little fluffier too.
The work that goes into this is just phenomenal.
Probably wasn't a great idea to close the door there.
Or open the cat food.
I just got to that part.
This is great. Ah, yes. That was great.
Yeah, we could probably do that, Pony Bro.
I've done that a little bit with the Severed Chains playthrough,
Podcast.
where I would bring on the first time it was you and me, right? It was you and me the whole way through, and then for the second one, I guess that was a JP demo. I kept bringing in like different people from the fandom, just any random person. It
Yeah.
didn't have to be anyone prestigious or whatever, and we had such a good time. And yes, the podcast does need to come back. I've got some loose plans to get a new episode up finally after a very long drought, so that will be great to get back to. Hopefully, to help with that, I'll have some shorter episodes interspersed to so it's not always like a big production. I thought they had a Lord of the Rings in here. Let's see, Lord. Yep, Lord of the Rings and the cat. So we'll watch that as the last thing.
I am servant to the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Arnor. You shall not pass!
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
Yep. Okay. That's enough of that. Just thought you all would want to know that Owl Kitty exists, so go check out Owl Kitty on YouTube if you want to see more of that kind of stuff.
The cat would probably walk into Mordor.
Legend of Streaming. I mean, we could do it. All right, so that's all I've got for tonight. Short and sweet stream, like I said. So thank you, Corey, for helping me go through this. Without you, it just doesn't seem relevant.
I guess.
Y'all have
Is
learned.
is that what defines me? The Canadianness?
No. It but it keeps happening. Canada keeps coming up organically in the Discord server, and I'm just like, how, why?
I mean, we should have brought Nova on as well.
I mean, at least the least you could do is adopt me.
I mean, you're free to move to Canada, I guess. We can
Okay,
just move the entire operation here.
y'all take care. We'll have more streams coming up. We've got the usual Wednesday live streams, and I've got some more one-offs coming up as well. And we've got a few surprises coming up in the next few weeks. It's all going to be great. Just stay tuned to either the Discord server or legendofdragoon.org is the main place, or our YouTube channel. You know how to see our stuff by now. We will see you around.
Yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Next Wednesday, I'll be working on the multiplayer stuff for Severed Chains more. Um, Hopefully going to get to the point where we can actually, take some basic turns and actually do some actions. So that'll be pretty cool.
Good night, y'all. Take care.
Night, everybody.